This is part 6 of series on comparing the open source LLM with GPT 3.5. So in this video, I compare John Durbin model and Blue wizardLM model with GPT 3.5. And you can see all of these models are available at the OpenLLM. Both of these models are available at the OpenLLM leaderboard. So John Durbin model is currently at the 20th place. It is here at the 20th place. And this wizard is around 48th place. So first we install the necessary packages that we need. We set up the LangChain multi-doc retriever. We import important functions. We import the data from my GitHub account on stock market. We initialize a directory loader to load text file from stock_market_June_2023 and then load all the documents into the present directory. We initialize the recursive character text splitter with a specified chunk of 500 and the overlap of 100 and split all the loaded document into a chunk of text using a defined text_splitter. We set up the model and the tokenizer. We also set up here the text generation pipeline that integrates the tokenizer and the predefined model. Then we load the embeddings using E25-v2. Next is we create database where all the embeddings will be stored. We use Chroma module to convert text into embedding using the open source embedding. Similarly, we specify other steps, right? And we set k equal to 3, suggest that the retrieval will return the top 3 most similar vector for each query. Then we start up with the retrieval QA object with the Hugging Face, this LLM, and then we have retriever, and then we specify also the stuff. Okay, so this function processes the response from LM and then prints the resources and the results. So let's look at the questions. So could you please enumerate the companies that have been highlighted for their potential stock? So it gives a very long answers. So the list includes known Tesla, Mercado Libre, Intuitive Surgicals, and other companies. So its answer is quite long, and so we can compare it with GPT 3.5. So these scores are quite similar. So let's quickly jump to the answers and the questions and the answers. So the question is, okay, so could you please enumerate the companies that have been highlighted for their potential stock? So answer from GPT 3.5 is that Arbor Metals, Tesla, Kaplan, Microsoft, Nvidia, Shopify, Intuitive Surgical, and Mercado Libre. So this answer is quite vague. It's very long. Okay. And then how much Microsoft has invested in OpenAI? So again, its answer is quite long and it's quite vague. It's not to the point actually. And if we look at response from the GPT 3.5, so yes, so how much Microsoft has invested in OpenAI? So Microsoft has invested 1 billion in OpenAI, right? So, but his answer is quite long. Same, what were the reason behind Shopify decision to lay off a portion of its workforce? So if you look at the answers here, to adapt to changing landscape, Shopify implemented significant changes, including layoff, and these changes occur near-term expenses but are expected to result in lower expenses over time. So yes, this is an important point, but again, it has given a lot of other details too. If you look at the response from GPT 3.5, so we can have a better comparison. So the same question, that what were the reason behind Shopify decision to lay off its workforce was to reduce overhead cost and make Shopify more asset light in the long run. So yes, that's a good answer, but answer from this John Durbin model is quite long and is not is catch them important point, lower expenses, but still the answer is very long. Okay, so how does NVIDIA dominance in the GPU market contribute to a strategic position in the AI industry? Again, its answer is quite long. Okay, and it's talk about something about GPU, which is the important point. But if you look at the response from GPT, NVIDIA dominance in the GPU market allows them to provide hardware like A100 and H100 chips to AI platform like ChatGPT and Alphabet. This reinforces confidence in NVIDIA technological leadership and has helped drive their high share prices. But his answer is, again, is not exactly good. Okay, so could you please enumerate the companies that have been highlighted? It's the same answer questions. Okay, so here is able to answer some other stuff, but how many companies have been highlighted for the potential stocks? I was changing the questions. Tesla, Microsoft, NVIDIA, but again, it has given some extra information. Okay, so if you look at response from GPT 3.5, so let me just scroll down. Okay, so how many companies that have been highlighted for their potential stock growth? So just 8. Yeah, so that's good answer. Again, I try to ask another question: what are the top 5 companies and how much their stock value increase? So it said Palantir, CrowdStrike, Shopify, NVIDIA, and it just counted this, but added something which is not there. Okay, if you look at the response from the GPT 3.5, Palantir source 74%, NVIDIA growth of 34%, similarly CrowdStrike holdings 30%, and Shopify rise of 19%. So this answer is not accurate quite. Okay, so this is the same repetition of this question. So I must say that it's just doing like 40% of the maybe a 50% of the GPT 3.5. Let's look at this model, Wizard. So all the steps are same. I just we quickly jump only to the query part. So the only difference is here from those models. It's coming from Llama Tokenizer and Llama for Casual for this model. Okay, and then we use the same embeddings. Okay, all the steps are quite same. So let's look at the questions and answers. So could you please enumerate the companies that have been highlighted for their potential stock? So its answers looks quite good, and also put it in some numbers here. So 1, 2, 3, all these numbers is good. I think quite similar to as GPT 3.5. How much has Microsoft invested in OpenAI as an AI language? So it said something here, but in the end, answer given the answer correct answer, same as GPT 3.5. So what were the reason behind Shopify decision to lay off its portion of workforce? So as mentioned in the text, Shopify laid off portion of its workforce due to implementing significant changes, including layoff. Okay, so all these doing are things. So why they are doing it? So stream focus on developing lead softwares, but it didn't mention the reason. Yeah, so reason is mentioned here. So these changes were made to reduce overhead costs and Shopify more asset. So if you remember, this was the answer from GPT 3.5. So I must say this model is doing good. Okay, so what are the top 5 companies and how much their stock value increased? So if you look at here, so all the points are good, only is added something. But he mentioned that this is not one of the original companies mentioned in the text, but I don't know, he made it up by himself. But he mentioned also, this is still good that he understands this is not in the text, but he was just looking for this question. So probably the author of these model needs to think about this point. Okay, next question is how does NVIDIA dominance in the GPU market contribute to strategic position in the AI industry? as mentioned in the tax, NVIDIA dominance in the GPU market, significant advantage in the AI industry with impressive 80% market share. So I think this answer is quite good. So NVIDIA is able to provide necessary hardware for companies to try to train their AI platforms such as GPT. Okay, so utilizes 10,000 of its 800 chips. Remember, the GPT 3.5 also mentioned of 800 chips and H100 chips. So I think, right, if you just if you look, this model is around like 48, but this model is as much as doing good. At least I must say is 99% of GPT 3.5. Even though the other model, John Durban model, is number 18. Number 20, I think. So, but this model is not doing good, at least on this problem. So thank you for watching this video.